My husband left me after 15 years and now wants to come back home. I just gotta say, a lot of the drama on the internet and on my channel is relationship related. Should I be concerned? This story came June 25th, 2025. My husband and I have been married for almost 2 years, but together for almost 15. He is my only real boyfriend I have had in my adult life, and we have 2 children together. We've had a rocky relationship from the beginning, if I'm being honest, but the last 3 years have, for the most part, been pretty great. The turning point for our relationship, I feel, was after he got blackout drunk at his friend's wedding and spent the entire 1.5-hour drive home screaming at me, saying nasty things. I drove him home and his friend home as well, and I was sober. Since then, things have been pretty good. I've been working on myself. I've lost weight, putting more effort into myself and my appearance, and I have been making new friends. About 5 months ago, he woke up one day and told me he wasn't happy with his life or me, and he wanted to leave. He then decided he was wrong and didn't want to leave. Not to drag it on too much, but a highlight reel of the last 5 months is he has, and we got point for him, baby. You know I love the facts, just give it to me, straight up. Number 1, left me 4 to 5 times and comes back every time saying he's sorry. Been unhappy when I have gone for dinner to see girlfriends. Got blackout drunk again, behaved horrendously towards me. I can't really talk about it on Reddit. The same night as above, there was some severe drama in his family. I am also being made to be the villain for telling them this behavior is disgusting, especially since our 2 children were asleep in bed when everything was happening. He has called me every name under the sun, often in front of our children, and has accused me multiple times of having affairs with absolutely no suspicions. Girl, look, your relationship, your life, none of my business, truly. However, please get out, please. Please, please, please. I mean, you only gave a few point for him and I'm like, red flags everywhere. I'm blind with how bright they are. I didn't realize a few of the things can't be discussed here. His excuses are that he doesn't feel loved enough by me and that I'm not affectionate enough. But it's hard to feel affectionate to someone who is treating you like garbage. I am getting very little family support and I'm being made to feel guilty for breaking up our family if I don't let him just come back home. But he is never going to change. I guess I'm just looking for some validation and support that I'm making the right decision because I keep being told I'm wrong. What are the next steps to stay strong in my decision to not take him back and try and establish a healthy co-parenting relationship for our children? Now, unfortunately, some of you out there may have or may be in this exact situation. Maybe you left a toxic, abusive relationship, but you still have to co-parent with them somehow. So I would love to hear from you, only if you're comfortable. Let's see what some people of Reddit are saying. Someone commented and said, "Have you tried marriage counseling?" OP said, "We tried that twice already at various times and only agreed to do it this time when he knew that I was more serious, but never even made it to the appointment date." Next comment, someone said, "Separate finances first thing, make it happen tomorrow." OP said, "I actually don't even know how to begin separating our finances as everything we have is basically tied up in our business." Oh no, you guys run a business together? Ooh, well that adds a complication, you know? That adds just another layer on top of everything. We have our first update, which came a bit over 2 weeks later. We're now at July 11th. I just wanted to address a few things mentioned in the comments and then give an update. I have spent the last few weeks really thinking about our relationship and the dynamics, and honestly, it's difficult to really think about and embarrassing to think that I have allowed this for so long. Some background to our relationship and the dynamics of my life. We started seeing each other at 15 years old, and on reflection, I can see that he was pressuring me even back then to do what he wanted. Example, pressuring me into losing my virginity when I didn't want to. But thankfully, a friend intervened for me. Now I'm really nauseous about his behavior. I grew up in a house filled with domestic violence and an extended family that was very dysfunctional from trauma. Around the time that we met, my stepdad, who raised me and separated from my mom about 3 years prior, told me his new partner didn't like me calling him dad and that she was turning my bedroom at his house into her spare room for when her family came to visit, and that essentially ended with him abandoning his dad role in my life. Oh, that's hard. The night we started dating at 15 was, in hindsight, deeply troubling. We had been at a local function and we had been friends. I was speaking with a mutual friend leading up to this night, and we snuck away to spend some time together. When we came back to the function, our mutual friends were laughing about it, and he started screaming at me in front of everyone for hooking up with his friend when I knew he liked me and that I am a B-word. I followed him out to apologize, no idea what I was apologizing for now, and I ended up in a relationship with him. Okay, next, he habitually lied to me about using illicit substances throughout the years. He knew that it was a hard limit for me as my relative had passed away from an OD. I know to some people it is a bit ridiculous as it's pretty normal where we are from, but I didn't want to be involved in any of that in the slightest. He caused friendship breakdowns between friends, would come to me and tell me that he was using substances. He would then deny it and tell me that they were lying, and I would then end up in arguments with them. He admitted 2 years ago to lying about it because he could see my viewpoint had changed and I was now more accepting of it. Next, our relationship was great for the last 2 to 3 years. 1 to 2 years before our wedding and the year after. But on reflection, I realized it was because I was just being more obedient to him. I was basically a married single mom and handled everything at home, worked in our business, and I was the primary parent for our children. So it was only happier and great because you were just not battling anything, you were accepting poor behavior, you were just... Oh, I'm so happy you're like realizing that now, because that can be a very dark road to go down. Now, on to the update. I saw everyone's comments about leaving him and running for divorce. This is definitely my plan, but I'm trying to be smart about everything and not rush it and do it on impulse. After my last post, I did cave to his pressure and I allowed him another chance. Girl, please no, please no. I told him I was going to visit my friend's new apartment in the city and go for dinner together. He lost it and tried to forbid me from going. I told him I wasn't asking for permission and that I was just letting him know. He was yelling and carrying on in front of our children that I either be husband and wife again or he's leaving right now. And I was just overwhelmed and tried to get him to stop, so I agreed. He also admitted to going through my phone to look at my messages with my friend because he didn't trust what I was saying. I understand it's also very difficult to leave those types of relationships. Everyone from the outside can look in and be like, leave, run, get away, but it's not that easy all the time. But shock and horror, a week later, he left again. So currently we are not together. He keeps apologizing and telling me he loves me and regrets the things that he was saying to me. He keeps asking me if I am done or if I want to be with him. I reminded him that you left and we're not currently together. I said without real changed behavior, I am not willing to be together, and I know he will not be able to do that because I now realize that I think he is a narcissist or at least pretty close. In the meantime, I have been recording many of our conversations and interactions. I am meeting with a lawyer and speaking with an individual counselor and trying to get my house in a state for sale without it being obvious. I also forwarded many of our business financial documents to a separate email in case he tries to restrict access to them. Smart thinking. His work email is also on my computer as I handled most of his correspondence. And a few days ago, he had an email from Snapchat about some password change or something. Not really a huge deal, I guess, but I'm pretty confident there is either another specific girl in the picture or he's just having casual sex. Snapchat out of all apps. Interesting choice. Then she added an edit and said, I'm honestly pretty taken aback by how aggressive some of the comments have been with me. I was actually really proud that I've started taking steps to get out, and I fully intend to leave him. But it is a huge milestone in my life to accept that I have allowed myself to be in an abusive relationship and start to process leaving the only man I've ever been with in 15 years. And I honestly never did realize that it wasn't normal, which you may not understand, but it's just my reality. And for the people who keep mentioning why I'm putting my kids through this, I think you're misdirecting your anger a little bit here. I'm trying my very best to shield them, and I've almost got everything ready to get us out. I'm so close. But the person doing this to the children is him. Am I allowing crappy behavior? Absolutely. But I'm not doing it, and I'm actively getting us out. So anyways, I am trying my best. I am leaving. Now, let's see a couple of comments that people were saying. I mean, I get people's frustration because they're on the outside and they're like, leave this toxic man and do it for your kids. But also, if you've been in a relationship like that, it isn't necessarily as easy as just walking out the door. Someone commented and said, who owns the house? Can you change the locks? OP said it is in both of our names. Next comment, you should take your electronics and car to Geek Squad and a mechanic to check for GPS, tracking, and spyware. I would also open a new bank account at a bank different from any bank that you use as a couple, even if you don't have joint accounts. I would want a separate account at a bank that he doesn't know about. I would also run my credit report and keep a close watch on it and any accounts that you guys share. OP wrote back and said, Family Violence Helpline in my area offers help with this, so I was going to be looking into it this week. Next comment, why haven't you kicked your husband out of the house? OP said he has never technically left the home. He has left me and stayed in our spare. Oh, so when you say he left, he didn't actually physically leave. Oh, he has left me and stayed in our spare bedroom or left for a night. How exactly do I keep someone out of a home that they own jointly with me without divorcing them first? The police in my area will do absolutely nothing unless there's genuine proof of physical violence, which I don't have. And even then, it's still difficult to have them removed from the property or pursue anything. My heart just goes out to anyone who's in an abusive relationship. Relationships are supposed to be about love. In a perfect world, right? We have more updates, but you know the drill. We gotta hydrate. Let me know what's in your cup. Cheers. But you should drink your water. Don't look at my nails. My Valentine's Day nails are going on tomorrow. But look at the case I bought for Valentine's Day. Isn't she cute? She's got a little bit of sparkle to her. Ooh, there you see it. Oh, cute, right? This cost me like $1. All right, the next update was July 28th, 2.5 weeks later. My soon-to-be ex-husband has been gone from our home for 2 weeks now. It has been 2 weeks filled with crash outs, love bombing, and everything in between. But I have held firm and I told him that I am completely done with this relationship and that I want a divorce. I have bought new security cameras for the time being, but I want to sell our house and buy my own place as soon as possible. But separating our finances is going to be so difficult. I know I'm only at the very beginning of this journey, but I am feeling so proud of myself and strong in my resolution. And honestly, I haven't even missed him once yet. I feel free. The kids and I can be at home and do what we feel like without worrying if he will have a problem with it. There's no more yelling at home. It is peaceful. So thank you again for your advice. I probably won't have another update, but thank you all. And if you have any tips or tricks for negotiating custody agreements and divorce, that would be great. Spoiler alert, not the last update. We got another one coming. But we're also going to see what the OP had to say in the comment section. Someone commented and said, you've done something incredible. The fact you stood your ground despite the emotional pressure, that's a huge win. Peace at home and your freedom, absolutely priceless. Whether it gets tough, remind yourself why you started this in the first place. One tip, write everything down when it comes to the kids and any agreements, even if things seem fine now. You're in a new chapter and it's already starting with a victory. That could make me emotional. It really could. OP responded and said, I have a video I watch of one of his outbursts whenever my brain tries to trick me into remembering the good parts to remind myself. And honestly, I only needed to watch it for the first few days. Just fear of the unknown, I guess. And I just keep reminding myself that being scared of the future is far greater than living in a future like that. Amen. I'm like, this was just good. I don't know what that was. Next comment, freeze your credit with all 3 major credit companies. He may turn vindictive very quickly. Oh yeah, clearly he is anger, so he's gonna be angry. OP responded and said, I think once he realizes he's lost control, he will turn vindictive pretty quick. It's why I want to move through the process as quickly as possible. I didn't think of the credit, so thank you. Next question, is your family still putting pressure on you to reconcile with your husband? Oh yeah, because she said that they were doing that in the beginning. OP said, they're definitely getting better. I know my mom in particular wishes he would stop all of this behavior and allow us to reconcile, but she has definitely accepted that his behavior won't allow that and has stopped pressuring me. I also have opened up to more extended family who have been more supportive, which is good. Next comment, what about recording consent against your husband and make sure to take important documents? OP responded, recording is legal in my country. Only one party needs to consent. And I've taken mine and the kids' passports and birth certificates and my engagement and wedding rings to my mom's house. Smart. See, I would never think of these things. I truly wouldn't. All right, we have reached the final update, which came very recently. Over 6 months later, February 1st, 2026. I just hope she's so happy and well and her kids are happy and healthy. Okay, let's hope for a positive update. Hi all. I am still separated from my soon-to-be ex-husband and waiting until I can apply for divorce. You have to wait 12 months in my country. A year? His behavior continued escalating after the separation and not being able to come home, and ended in the police applying for an intervention order against him on behalf of my kids and I. He has had no access to the kids since the start of December. Throughout this, I have been trying to process and heal, and with the help of so much external support, working through a relationship filled with every type of toxic behavior that I didn't even recognize at the time. It has truly been a bizarre experience for me because while my outside world has been metaphorically on fire, my inner world with just my kids and I has been the most peaceful, joyful world I've ever experienced. Oh my God, I could cry. That literally is gonna hit me. My children have never been happier. My daughter has stopped wetting the bed every night. My son is becoming the calm, caring boy he always has been, but publicly. They are thriving. I am so proud of myself for fighting for myself and my kids. And when this process started, the only people I had making me feel like I wasn't going crazy was all of you. And I'm so grateful. I think I mostly wanted to post this to show you guys what an amazing support system this can be, and that your words and encouragement really does have an impact. And also to treat those coming here looking for advice with kindness, because we really are trying hard. Like, happy ending, but awful situation still, and I'm sure it's still a struggle, but peace is everything. Peace is such a victory in every aspect of life. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on this, you guys. I'll see you in the comment section. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. Bye.